Hi friends, this is Mangal and Muralidharan talking from India. Today, I'm just going to talk to you about the importance of parallel teaching. Some people ask me, why is it so important for us to think about parallel teaching? See, parallel teaching is going to change the way you teach in general. You would ask me why? Very simple reason. When you do parallel teaching, what happens is you learn to analyze your own teaching techniques. Whatever techniques you have been using sometimes may not be effective for certain groups of individuals. So, all the techniques are not useful all the time. So, we'll have to really change the techniques of teaching, number one, for which we'll have to look at learner efficacy, learning efficiency, learner potential. And we should also try to decode the learner profile as such and see what sort of things that learners enjoy doing and what kind of learning happens when they are in a team, right? And we'll also analyze learning materials, evaluate the learning materials. Do we provide learning materials which have got kind of a progressive discovery of things which happen so easily for them? In other words, the level of difficulty is gradually increased, and it is not going to be terribly abstract or not totally concrete as such. So, the kind of learning that we promote in the classroom has to be precipitative, which means the learners participate in the learning process by interacting with one another. And learners consult their peers and all the time. This is very important. It doesn't happen all the time nowadays because of self-access learning. But there is another consultation which goes on. They do try to talk to AI platforms like ChatGPT or Perplexity or any other app. They try to identify why a particular thing happens, or they do try to understand the reasons behind the scenario. Or they could even get to know the resources available in this particular realm or in any particular realm. So, task based assessment is in great trouble now because most of them do not read, analyze, understand, come up with answers. Rather, they get ready-made solutions which are available from ChatGPT or any other AI-based platform and try to present it as such. If you ask them to make a presentation, what happens is most of them go and download a presentation and make a presentation. This is not really going to help our students in the long run. Please understand, their reasoning skills, their analytical skills, and even their presentation skills will be in great trouble. So, how are we going to change this particular scenario? So, parallel teaching is going to support you because there are teachers who do find solutions for these problems. So, we'll have to identify what kind of solutions can we provide. What are the challenges that we have right now just before us? So, in case we want to really reorganize any of our strategies or come up with new tasks, these are very important steps that we could possibly consider. And we should also look at the kind of learning materials. Do we use digital learning materials? This is a very important thing because today the world of learning is highly digitized and digital materials are being used everywhere. So the digital creators that some of us are, we can really redesign the learning materials. We can create online quiz programs. We can even analyze, the kind of collaborative learning opportunities that they have. We can try to do gamification of learning processes. We can even have team games. In a way, it does really supplement team skills too. Apart from that, remember, learning is of no use without assessment. Any learning has to go with the assessment. Any assessment without reflection is of no use. Both are very important. See, any learning has to have a systematic assessment, number one. Number two, any assessment tool that you use ought to be useful for them to reflect on how they have learned or what they have learned, or how could they focus further. This conceptual design of learning with assessment and reflection can change the scenario of learning progress. In other words, learning and cognition go hand in hand only when there is assessment inbuilt in it. That's one of the reasons why I always say parallel teaching is going to give you a variety of scenarios. And you could also see how different teachers use divergent techniques. And their techniques, the kind of tools they use in the classroom, multimedia tools, or the sort of audio video supplements they provide, the handouts they give, all these are very important for all of us. Okay? So learning is learning to discover something new. Learning is also learning to discover what sort of challenges do we face in terms of operating only on traditional modes of learning. So there must be multimodal composition of learning. So there must be some audio, some video, some visual input, or some handout, some process chart given, some team activity, pair activity, some reflection, and some take-home task. All these are very important for all of us. I hope this is quite useful to you. In case you have any questions related to parallel teaching, I wish you can create a consultative model of learning wherein you can get to know how learning can be highly effective, useful, and interactive. Only through parallel teaching we can try to unearth the various strategies and techniques that teachers make use of. And we give one particular task to all the teachers and request them to try out different strategies. They all come up with different strategies. For example, teaching grammar could be done through, playing a song. So you can play a song, give them the text of the lyric, and teach grammar. One of my teachers used to do this. And I still remember, I think Professor Upendran used to do it at CIEFL. And now it's called English and Foreign Languages University. And you could see several other people. I've seen some teachers using some sort of newspaper cutouts, and then they give these newspaper cuttings, and then ask them to go through that and get to know what it is. Sometimes they provide illustrations. Some people provide online quiz apps. They use that to try out various techniques of learning. And some teachers use descriptive methods, or rather, I would say deductive methods. Some people use inductive methods, like you tell a story and then you say which tense you've been using. And some people use some other online resources. For example, BBC Learning English program has got plenty of resources. And similarly, there are people who could, come up with innovative tools of, like you have grammar movies available. And you have, in fact, Voice of America giving you 2-minute programs, 5-minute programs, 6-minute programs. Look at those resources available. You may think about new tools. And it is, of course, easy today to download a variety of teachers demonstrating the same task, teaching same task. And I wish if it is live, say there are 10 teachers in a practice session, where all the 10 teachers try to teach one particular lesson, and we record them through a video tool or video camera, and then try to analyze, how effective they were, what type of techniques they used, and how could they improve their strategies and techniques, and what sort of things have they kept in mind before they started this particular session, etc. That these are all things that you have to really analyze. And I'm sure parallel teaching helps you to understand, or rather reframe some of the techniques that you have. Wish you all success. In case you want to know more about me, visit me at www.mangalaprathaban.in. That is www.mangalaprathaban.in. If you want to attend any of the courses related to teaching, you can also visit me at www.fluencycenter.co.in. That is www.fluencycenter.co.in. Have a great day. Enjoy your day. I'm available at any time for you to have a free consultation. Wish you all success. Have a great time. Bye bye. See you.